The Ip Man films has become quite a chore to watch now. The major hits that was the Donnie Yen films had already ran dry after 2 outings, and now the spin-offs are still coming with little to no originality. Dennis To reprises his role as Ip Man for the 3rd outing, if you count Kung Fu League, but he's shown little improvement in terms of acting. Here he is stoic and flat and possesses little of the characteristics of Ip Man that has been established by the countless iterations in the past decade. It would have been well and good if he brought anything new to the table, but that's not the case. The film didn't get a theatrical release, instead it was released on the streaming platform Youku. On orders from his superiors, police officer Ip Man arrives to arrest the ex-gang's leader, San Ye. San Ye refuses to sell drugs because he knows that Japanese are using the drugs to control the Chinese. San Ye cooperates and is taken to custody, but the local forces have colluded with the Japanese and San Ye is killed off. Ip Man finds out about the collusion and quits his job as an officer. San Ye's daughter, Queen Chuan, finds out about her father's death and blames Ip Man, so she seeks revenge. Double-crossing and new alliances see Ip Man aiding Queen Chuan, and together they have to take on the evil Japanese army. Oh, and somewhere in there Ip Man dons the Kato mask to fight some crime and stir up national pride. The story is all over the place, and any attempts in drama, suspense or emotional pain is just muted with how weakly constructed it is. Evil Japanese are used to stir up national pride once again, and the scream of how great Chinese are is tiresome. It seems that the Ip Man IP is now just tied to xenophobic stories. Characters are boring and have no real depth to them. There's a point in the story where Ip Man starts wearing the Kato mask, and it's so random and laughable how left field it is. Worst of all, it never amounts to anything. Kato's supposed death immediately stirs up national pride within 5 minutes of newspaper clippings and montages. I do like Dennis To, and he showed great promise at one point, and it's saddening that he's now relegated to low budget web films. As a fighter, he handles himself well, and his Wing Chun is just as convincing as Donnie Yen, but the choreography is sadly a tad underwhelming. It's not bad per se, but it's just the same stuff we've seen countless times. The rapid punches is a staple, but it's just boring now, and the fighting against the Japanese is just so uninspired. Worse still, it's just the same rip-off scene from Ip Man's first outing, starring Donnie Yen. During the fights, the editing can be a tad quick, but not to the Bourne film extent. It's easy enough to follow, but can be a tad weird with some awkward undercranking. The one thing that makes the film relatively good is the excellent cinematography, which is surprising for a web film. The lighting is beautiful and the framing and composition are so well done that it's wasted on such a weakly scripted film. The film is not terrible, it's just bad and probably worst of all lazy. There's okay action and some brilliant framing that some may find entertaining.